you've been on campus all day today?
Yeah,
Did you arrive
since about 9:30 this morning. Yeah.
What have you done?
I've had meetings with several different constituent groups. I think Jim Tressel called one of the groups the Todd Hall leaders, and so I met with them. I met with the deans of the colleges. I met with the student government and the student newspaper. Met with some of the faculty union leaders. And we'll be having more of those meetings. So, yeah, it's been a good day.
The reaction that you've gotten so far publicly, what has it been for you?
The people that have contacted me has been overwhelmingly positive. I mean, from all over the state, even from all over the nation, talking about this opportunity. You know, service. Stan, is in my blood. It became that way when I joined the Air Force, and this just fits into my sense of service and the idea that I can invest my time and energy in the hearts and minds of the next generation, the great student body here at Youngstown State, both the ones that are here and the ones that are going to come here, because we're going to give a lot of students a reason to want to come to Youngstown State. To invest in their lives, I can't think of a better way to serve the next generation.
Ed Moransky and Bruce Zoldan, are you concerned about their reaction to your presidency and their request to drop out of the positions and the money that they have funded here?
Yeah, you know, my phone, both of them have my phone number. Neither one of them have called me. So I don't even know what to say about that, Stan. I have worked well with both of them. I've helped both of them over the years as they've had constituent problems in my role as the representative for the 6th Congressional District. I mean, I've heard about some of the things that they said in the press, and for them it was more about process than me personally. I think if it was about me personally, they probably would have called me up and told me what they thought, because they're pretty strong personalities too. So, but I can't tell you what their concerns are because neither one of them have talked to me. But I'd love to sit down and talk to them if they would like to.
How do you repair some of the discourse that has come with your hiring?
I think sitting down and having people get to know who I am. You know, I did an interview a little while ago. I'm, out of confidence. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. A lot of misunderstandings about who people say that I am. You were at the press conference last week. People say that I'm this, that, or the other, and there's no foundation of truth in any of that. If they would just sit down and talk to me first, and then draw their conclusion, I think we'd be a lot further down the road.
You have no intention of withdrawing as the president?
Absolutely not. No. I'm going to be president of Youngstown. Well, I've got a contract that says I'm going to be, and soon, hopefully sooner than later, it's going to be official.
You're in.
I'm in.
The process of hiring you, how were you contacted?
I was contacted by a national search firm.
Okay, they called you just out of the blue.
Yes, they called me and said, and of course I was aware that the presidential search had begun. I've got a nephew and a son that go to school here, so I stay pretty close to what's going on at Youngstown State. So I knew, and plus I'm not crazy. I knew that Jim Tressel had retired last year, and I knew that they had an interim. I knew that they would be hiring a president at some point. I didn't know when that was going to begin, but when that search firm called me, it was pretty evident that the search process had begun.
Do you know how'd they come up with you? Did you ask that question?
No.
What was your first reaction?
Well, my first reaction was, why would I do that? Why would I do that? I love what I do. I'm not looking for another job. I worked hard to build an effective team Stan, you've seen my journey in the U.S. House of Representatives. You know, I won by 4, then by 7, then by 19, then by 46, and every election in the last 3 or 4 years has been in excess of 50%, pumping up around 70%. So I've got a team that knows how to do it really, really well. And I can tell you this has been an emotional decision. To walk away from something that's working so well was a tough decision for me. But every time, as I began to go through the process, and I started meeting the professionals here, both on the board and the leadership team here at the university, and of course, hearing from my own son and nephew about the culture that is here, and my own work because Youngstown State is in my congressional district. So I have worked with Youngstown State for years. So it's not like I didn't already have a background and understand the amazing legacy of this university. Every step along the way, I got more excited and more excited.
What swayed you? I mean, if your initial reaction was, why would I want to do that? There must have come a point that you said, yes, let's see how far this goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it sounds like your initial one was, I don't think so. But then somewhere along the way you said, I think so.
Well, when it became clear to me that they were looking for a leader with life skills, you know, we live in a dynamic world, Stan. Over the last 20 or 30 years, the onset of the digital economy, you know, the oceans don't exist anymore. Business transactions take place around the world. We do business today in Indonesia and Australia and Europe and the Middle East, the Far East, the Pacific. We do business around the world like we used to do between counties, between Portage County and Stark County and Ashtabula and Trumbull. Today, we live in a digital economy. The workforce needs have changed. And so people's dreams and ambitions have got to change as well in order to fit into that. So there are so many challenges to families today. You know, I didn't think I was college material coming up. And there are a lot of people in Appalachia and around our state that probably are thinking, you know, is college really right for me? I think I've got a story that can tell them that, yeah, it very well could be. And I'm looking forward to reaching out and casting what I'm calling a wider net to go out and find those students and give them a reason to know why Youngstown State is the right place for them.
You got to do the same thing with the donors, though, don't you?
Sure I do.
Okay.
Sure I do. That's part of the process. But you know, when I started to run for Congress in 2010, Stan, we set ourselves a financial goal to raise, we said we had to raise $100,000 by December 31st of 2009 in order to consider a run for Congress. We raised 107. You know where 70,000 of it came from? My own pocket. I emptied my bank account just so we could say I met the goal, right? So I could at least have some emotional comfort. I had to learn from scratch how to raise money. And I've learned how to do that and have done it well. If you'd have told me back then that I would have to raise $2 to $3 million every 2 years from scratch and start all over again and do it the next 2 years, I'm not sure that, not knowing the political environment back in those days, that I would have been able to do that. But the donor base here at Youngstown State is a very different kind of donor base, right? We're talking people that are investing for research, they've got a cause that they're supporting, and those kinds of things. I think when people sit down and have a conversation with me and begin to sense the vision of making Youngstown State University not just a school in Northeast Ohio, but the anchor university of Northeast Ohio. I want the other research universities across this state to be looking at Youngstown State through the windshield, not in the rearview mirror.
There's a meeting tomorrow with the Youngstown Foundation, 2 o'clock, I believe. I think Mike Peterson is going to be there. I'm not 100% sure. Do you plan to be there?
I haven't been invited to that yet. If they invite me, I'll sure go.
Are you going to try to go to more of these community meetings and meet with these people as you're
Absolutely. That's part of the, you know, I represent 800,000 people in my current congressional district. My staff was fearful when I first started doing this, but Stan, you know it, because I think you've got my personal cell phone number in your contacts.
I do.
I give that to everybody. I'm probably one of the only members of Congress that does that, because I don't think you can be a servant leader if the people that you're leading and you're serving can't get a hold of you. Let me tell you a funny story. Yesterday, I got a letter through email, through my official congressional email, from a young man here at YSU. I'm not going to give his name out of confidence. And he wrote me a very nice note. He said, look, I would love to sit down and talk with you, because I've watched you and I've seen how you operate, and something doesn't fit here with what people are saying about you in public. So I picked up the telephone and I called him. He answered the phone and I said, hey Tom, I said, this is Bill Johnson. He said, who? I said, this is Bill Johnson. I said, you sent me an email. He said, my God, and you're calling me? I said, yeah. I said, because you're the reason that I'm doing this. You're a student. You're the reason that I'm investing my life into your generation. So we started having a conversation. He said, what do I say? What do I say to my fellow students and others when they start saying these awful things about you and they've never had a chance to meet you? I said, give them my phone number. I said, you've now got my phone number. I said, give him my phone number. Tell him, hey, before you judge him, call him and ask him yourself what he thinks about this and see what he has to say. He said, I can do that? I said, yeah. I'm giving you the okay to do that.
I guess that goes to the next question then. How many of your critics have called you? I mean, you're hearing...
None of them. None of them.
So you're hearing it
Yeah.
through the media,
Yeah.
through social media, what people are telling you, but
Yeah.
none of these people that are criticizing your hiring have actually picked up the phone and said, Bill, I don't think you're the guy.
Yeah, I've been called a lot of things on social media, but that's been going on for a long time. So, you know, I can come up with words you probably don't even know the definition to.
But so you wish these people would actually call you. You'd love to have a conversation with them. Anybody, anytime, anywhere.
That's right.
Pretty
Doesn't
much.
matter.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you're looking forward to this. This is you're smiling, you're happy, you're glad you took this position, and you're looking forward to it.
I am extremely happy. I am extremely honored and humbled. I can't imagine, I could have never imagined that my life would have taken this turn. I didn't plan for this. I'll be absolutely truthfully honest with you. It was never on my bucket list or on my career progression. In fact, I could show them to you. I don't have them with me. We had already started taking out petitions and signatures to get ready to file for re-election next November. That's what the plan was. But over the last 10 weeks, my antennas went up, and the opportunity to make a difference in a very different way. Somebody said something to me last week. Actually, it was earlier this week when I got back to Washington, and I hadn't thought about it from this perspective, but it's really very true. They said, Bill, here, you're one of 435 trying to make a difference. At Youngstown State, you're going to be one of one. You're going to be the guy everybody's looking to set the tone, to change the culture. Now, my leadership style, there's no I in team. That's not the way I lead. Yeah, there's only one president here, but Ronald Reagan said there's no limit to what a person can achieve if they don't care who gets the credit. I'm going to surround myself with people a lot smarter than I am. That's the way I've built successful businesses. That's the way I had a successful military career. It's the way that I have run my congressional office.
Hi everyone, I'm Lindsay Watson. Thanks for watching the WKBN 27 First News YouTube channel. If you want more video news, subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the WKBN 27 First News app for breaking news alerts.